That's what I mean. You know?
What was the question?
Here, let's do this while it cut. Praxis, thank you for the super chat. I'm sorry the TTS is broken, so we have Kazumi as our TTS for tonight.
I think they want me to read it. They think like there's going to be a point where I just have a mental breakdown or something. And it's like,
no, I think you have a strong will.
Yeah,
I think
I'm just like,
good.
It's amazing how OF girls have the energy to argue and debate the most obvious truths, yet they refuse to use that energy to find a real job. Your career has an expiration date, whether you like it or not. Guess what? That's all jobs, bro. What? Like, you think like bro here is gonna podcast till he's 80,000 years old?
Yes.
No, you're gonna probably get your bag and leave. That's life.
Guys, the year is 20,023. I'm gonna be there podcasting. Listen, Alcor Life it's called Alcor Life Extension. They fucking freeze you. Cryopreservation. Yeah. You and me, Kazumi.
Yeah, I'll
20,000 years.
You'll be podcasting. We'll be
20,000 years. there actually is. It's called cryonics, and they freeze you with the anticipation that in the future, science and technology will advance to the point where they could unfreeze you and basically bring you back to life. And so you and me,
there'll be like a 30-year hiatus where you're frozen in time, and then you'll come back and be like, hey guys, the podcast is back.
Yo, what's up? Dating talk.
We now Twitch in space.
Dating in 20,000's a mess. Let's just before I have you come in, can you TTS this, Kazumi?
I'm a doctor. He's kind of sexy.
Oh shit.
Why is he so buff? I'm a doctor, and I can tell you personally that my female colleagues struggle to find men they date because they won't date down. My male colleagues don't have much of an issue with that because we can date way down easily.
Yep.
Is the point here the fact that we should help you guys not date down, or are you telling us to date down? I'm confused with what the angle is.
Men are perfectly content dating down, so to speak, in terms of socioeconomic status.
Men also look for things differently in a relationship than women do.
If you're looking for a hot, horny honey, I mean, that's your right. And if that hot, horny honey is looking for an $800 credit score, then fuck it. This is a perfectly transactional relationship, and you guys are happy to go off into the sunset.
But here's the thing. So as a guy, his status increases, his money increases, his pool of potential partners also increases, whereas as a woman's status increases, the more money she makes, actually her pool of potential partners tends to shrink. Not necessarily because men won't date her, but because she's now looking, okay, I make this much money, here's my lifestyle. I want someone that I don't want to be having to like carry a guy. Most women are going to have that point of view. Not all women, but a lot of women are, they're going to want to date someone on their level or higher. Go ahead.
It would take a certain kind of man to like not have to like put his ego aside and be able to be taken care of by a woman. Some
men do have an ego about that, but the issue, while it is primarily on the women's side, it's not on the men's side. The women would not want to date a guy who doesn't match them.
I think that has a lot more to do with like the emotional maturity than anything else, in my opinion, because there have been a lot of reports and studies done about how as men age, their dating pool of ages that they look at don't generally grow with their age. There are still men in their 40s looking at girls in their 20s and, around that age looking to date. Whereas with women, as we age, we look for somebody more within our age range. And most of the time that does mean financial security as well as emotional maturity, but that's not like all it is.
It's evolutionary too. Like if you go back to the caveman days, women were looking for men that could provide and protect. And so how does a man provide nowadays? Through financial resources.
But why does he only have to provide through financial resources?
I just want to be loved.
Yeah, why?
I feel like
the cap.
It's like, are we both single?
She just wants to be.
Yes, thank God.
I think she just wants to be loved, and she also wants a guy who's 6 feet, washboard abs,
100%.
all this stuff.
6 feet. You know what? Though?
See, but when you're 5 feet, it doesn't matter.
Oh, but
it's great.
But
it's great.
What about the 5'4" guy that would be perfectly capable of loving you?
Can I have that one?
That's the thing. Like he wouldn't even have. I'm at the point in my life where like I'm gonna get what I want in a person because I've like been through the ringer as far as relationships goes. I know exactly what I want, and I'm not going to settle for anything less than.
So can I ask a question?
Yeah.
What if he can give you everything that you want, but you just don't have the height? Because that's a physical aspect that he can't control versus where he can like give you like
I've
the
met some
emotional,
sexy
the
short
money.
guys.
I've been on a date. I'm 5 foot. I've been on a date with a guy that was shorter than me.
You're so tiny.
Shut up.
No, I'm sorry. As a tall girl, I just really love having short friends and carrying them around everywhere.
But like I am.
At least
Can I
have to
princess
be.
carry you right now?
No.
Please? Okay.
No.
You know, I won't push. I won't push.
They at least have to be like my height or like an inch taller.
That was for you two, by the way.
Yeah,
the,
that
the
was-
Romeo.
but-
I don't know.
You know, I won't push. I respect her boundaries.
I feel like men like to pretend.
I can't help it that I'm like I don't know. I'm
Okay,
compacted.
so I do want to touch on what you said, because you said, you know, you've been through the ringer, you know what you want, you're not willing to settle. Is that kind of it? So I want to go around the table on this for all of you, and I do want to touch back. We will return to the Tate thing. So if a guy doesn't meet all of your preferences or standards, let's say he met only 80% of your standards and he was lacking in some area that you want, would you be willing to settle for less than perfect in a partner?
I don't think that there's such a thing as a perfect partner. Everyone has their issues. Relationships are hard, and you kind of just have to.
Okay, disregard the perfect thing. Would you be willing
Okay.
to settle for less, say 80% of a guy who meets 80% of your standards?
If he checks off every single other box and he's 5'6", okay.
it's like
Stop the cap.
You wouldn't
How tall are you?
you wouldn't be
5'5".
you wouldn't be attracted to him to begin with, but so
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, he wouldn't even have like the chance.
right. Okay, so
is the same question.
same question, yeah.
So I threw a birthday party this weekend, and it was really funny because since I do porn and I'm just a social person that's an LA native, I invited everyone ever. So it was obviously a lot of people I've had sex with from college, from my last job, from like how long ago was college?
No.
Many.
Just keep going.
I was like, but like, you know, it's just like people throughout my life, like from like when I was like 18, from high school, to now, like now that I'm a porn star. And I felt that something really eclectic that someone noticed was that none of them had a specific look. It was just the common denominator was they were open-minded, they were usually really funny, but physically and with their jobs, it was extremely sporadic and eclectic. Like there were people who were short, there were people who were tall, there were people who were fat, there were people that were buff, but the common denominator was that we had a really cool connection, and it was cool to see us all come together. Granted, I'm also in an open relationship, so it's not weird for me to bring all the people I've ever fucked in one room. You know,
So how many people in that room were there that you had?
Well, okay, it's not like I fucked everyone in the room.
Can
Like,
I
Right.
ask, as a porn star, like, do you keep track of your like body count now? That's something
no,
I'm curious
I'm
about. I have
also
questions.
an adult woman, so I don't keep track of my body count.
Oh, I
But
see.
if I had to, it's probably 1 bajillion, you know, so whether you can respect me or not. If
Oh, I
you-
100% do. I think
Yeah.
I don't think a body count matters at all.
Yeah. I don't
But-
think it
okay,
matters
we'll talk about that
at all.
later
Yeah.
too.
Waiting